Three, two, one, go. 7 p.m. on the eastern side of the United States of America. Here in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida tonight, Boogie with the Bull. Thursday night live. Gerry Michaels is going to join us. We invited Randy Rhodes to join us. If you do a broadcast, want to come on the broadcast, let me know. Join me in the live chat on the Dave Glovin profile here on Facebook and tell me that you want the link. We will send you the link, and if you can get it to work so that you can come on, you are more than welcome to come on and join me. Good morning, or actually good evening. William Grant is watching. William Grant has watched more Boogie with the Bull broadcasts, believe it or not, in 6 years than anybody else in the history of the internet. And I say that very happily because he has watched more than I have watched. I mean, I guess I watched all of them because I'm on all of them. But in the actual going and watching them, I have only watched 2. Actually, I've watched 5 individual ones looking for something that I didn't find. And I watched 1 5 times because I did something that I'm not happy with. We don't need to discuss it. And I wanted to make sure I apologize to someone for something that happened on a broadcast. But anyway, that really doesn't matter. We're alive and well. We're here in beautiful Florida. As I said, Florida is still on the map in the United States. For those of you that might not be aware, Hurricane Milton came through Florida last night, started in the southern part of the state, worked up to the central part of the state, eventually came up north where we are. And I got woken up around 1:15 this morning and swear I heard very heavy winds outside and very heavy rain on our roof coming down for about 15 minutes. Between 1:30 and 1:45. It ended at 1:45. Didn't hear anything more. We didn't lose electricity, I know, because I turned the lights on just to make sure we still had lights. And a nightlight in our room was on. And the air conditioning kicked on between 1:30 and 2:15 3 times. So I know that we had electricity going. And we managed to survive it. Gerry Michaels from the American Rebellion is with us. Gerry is down in the central part of Florida, and it looks like you survived.
I did. I went to
sleep. you say that like you might not. You what?
No, I went to sleep. I think I may have woke up around 12.
Yep.
Something like that. And I turned over. The wife was still awake. I go, is it still going on? She said, yeah. I listened for like a minute and went back to sleep.
Yep. Well, I woke up, like I had said before you popped in. I woke up about 1:25. 1:30, I heard the winds. I heard the rain. 1:45, I didn't hear anything. The house was still here. Turned on lights to make sure we had lights. The air conditioning came on 3 times, like I said, between 1:30 and 2:15. So that means we had electricity. And we're here. I know people in other parts of the state got hit between hard. Some got hit very hard. Deplorable Deb. Yep. Deplorable Deb used to do a broadcast live almost every day on Facebook, and I think she still does. I lost her. I haven't seen her for years in my newsfeed. All of a sudden popped up in my newsfeed. So I watched her, and she said, looked like, they got hit kind of hard. Her house survived. I think she lost a shingle from her roof, so part of her roof may have to be redone, or her roof might have to be redone. She had said that she didn't have anyone go up and look after Helene came through because she was afraid that if they went up and looked and said it had to be done, and they told her they couldn't get her on a schedule to get it done for 3 weeks, that the stress might be overwhelming. So our thoughts and prayers go out
That
to.
seems silly.
Well, I
Sorry.
guess she didn't want to work. She made it sound like she would be stressing and worrying about getting it done before the next one came in. So,
folks, that's one of the problems we have in this country. Everybody's stressed out about, you know what? If there's a job to do it, you do it to the best of your ability. If you have to, you let others do it to the best of their ability. And you don't ignore it. This is the problem. We ignore problems too much in this country as individuals, as an entity. It's I don't know. And whatever. She lives her life the way she sees fit. I live mine. But there's a lot of you need to just deal with shit. Okay, being afraid is no way to go through life.
No,
and yes, we never lost power here. As much as they screamed that we were all going to die, as usual, we were way too far outside of the eye where I live, and it actually went slightly further south because of wind shear. Also, it moved and also weakened it some. So a category 5 or 4, we probably would have felt it. But the one before was actually worse than this one, and it didn't hit us. It hit the panhandle, but as it went by, it said hello, where I am.
Yeah. So. Yep. Helene woke up Donna. She said the house shook a bit.
Yeah.
And she could hear the heavy winds and rains. I didn't wake up. Like I said, something else woke me up. It wasn't the hurricane or anticipation that it was going to come through Jacksonville. It just something woke me up. Talked to my sister in California. Talked to a bunch of people that were still on Facebook that were praying for everybody and appreciated everybody that did. And like I messaged you earlier, Jane O'Malley was concerned that how you came through. So I told her that you said you didn't lose power and you would be on tonight. So I think I posted on the promo that you would be on tonight. So everyone would know that you're still alive.
And we got satellite internet. And last night, the weather was bad all day yesterday. And last night, the internet, I set everything up, and then the screens went white with cannot display this page, whatever the hell that page says. And I waited in about 5 minutes, and it came back on. Then it went back off, and it wasn't worth doing because that would have continued. And so I didn't do it. But that had nothing to do with the electric. That had to do with satellite.
Yeah.
But our I watched TV till around 10, I guess, something like that. I don't know. Fell asleep in a chair, got up, went to bed. And I don't know, it was like 12:30, I think. I woke up again, asked the wife if it was still going on. She said yes. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't hear the roof falling off, so I guess we're good now. I actually did more around this place for this hurricane than I did for Helene. Basically, all I did for Helene was put the generators on the trailer and got all the gas and everything. This time, I even got more gas. Figured we always lose power in a hurricane, usually by 8:30, but this one obviously hit later. And I was very skeptical that it was going to be that bad, but I said the size of it at the time was a 4 or 5. It was 180 mile an hour sustained winds, which I think is and I said to myself, damn. I said to myself that, well, I got the wife and we got to have electric and keep the food good and all that crap. So I think I got 17 gallons of gas. I didn't fill up everything, but I did fill up the truck and also filled up 17 gallons worth of gas. And that's enough to get you probably 3, maybe 4 days on my generators. And then by that time, you go out and you find more gas. It's not that hard. Especially in a storm that doesn't hit you directly, frankly, and is that far away. Because people don't realize, they see Florida on a map, they don't realize how big, well, not so much big, but long Florida is. And where it hit was like 3 hours south. Okay. And from
Yep.
Dave, closer to 6 or 7 hours, probably 6 hours. So, you're not going to feel it like you would if, you are an hour. And a category 3, you will feel an hour away. You're not going to get the damage of a direct hit, but you are going to get something. I drove out here to go check on a neighbor today, and there wasn't even like little sticks or nothing down in the road. I went out during Helene, and the steel wires between the poles that go from one pole to another, I almost ran into one because I didn't see it. So I had to get a couple of them off of our road. There was a good sized tree branch down, but plenty of room to get around it. And then there was tiny branches everywhere. And my neighbor had a limb down in his front yard. I had one in the backyard and 2 or 3 in my front yard off the same tree. So there's differences, and you got to have some kind of experience. But they were telling everybody here, oh, you got to evacuate, packed, and that don't happen. But everybody, because we have a main highway going through town, it's Highway 19, and it goes up and down the West Coast, and people use that quite a bit. And I mean, when I went to visit my father in Alabama, I took 19, about 2 hours worth. But anyway, and then you can get on 10, and you're pretty much safe from there. But we had actual like 60 cars at a red light. I mean, here a traffic jam is like 10 cars at the red light during rush hour, which is like 5 o'clock or something. By where the high school is, there's a red light, and that the road going east, there's a few other towns that people are going to, but it's like it was a surprise. Never seen that many people in town before, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. My daughter did all right. She lives, I believe, 3 hours south of us. She did okay. Her wife's parents, a tree apparently went into their RV. So that kind of sucks. But in the end, if you have, I've been through now probably 10, 15 hurricanes, so I know what to look for. Also, the side of the hurricane you are on matters.
Yes.
In this case, the west. So, I'm sorry, it was going west to east. So we were on the basically the the left side of the hurricane, which is somewhat better. And,
Sorry about that.
All right. Well, anyway, there you have it.
The dog showed up with their dinner reservation.
The dogs have their opinions, also. They probably don't like Biden.
Yes, they do. I keep telling them anytime they want to join the broadcast, I'll give them a mic. I'll send out my other Chromebook with a camera on it. They're more than welcome to come on and be a part of the broadcast. Delilah will bark all the time. The little chihuahua, she's up on the bed. She'll start barking all the time, but if I pick her up and put her in front of the camera, she shuts up. She does not say anything.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We had
and she grew
a
up with,
Chihuahua. My wife's had a Chihuahua. She was 17 or 18 when she died, or he died rather.
yep,
He died. Rusty. Rusty was actually it was her dog. He he knew I protected him from the my two, and I would hold him very gently, and I didn't hurt him, and I would feed him. So he was okay with me, but it wasn't like he ran over and became my best friend or anything. Um, but 18, and he was strong. He weighed like 2 pounds, man. By the time he was, it's
yep,
like, and he had no teeth. It was funny because his tongue hung out of his mouth, just like I had a
yep,
Guinness was like that, a min pin, and they pulled all his teeth out because he used to bite people,
yep.
which is cruel, really. But
It is.
whatever.
It is. But well, she
Do
used
you
to sit
think
up
that
on the
North Carolina got the worst out of the first hurricane and Florida did out of Milton? I I don't know yet. You have to wait a day or two to find out. The initial pictures have already come in. There'll be more. There were a lot of tornadoes down there. As it was before it even came in, there were tornadoes kicking up. So it
yeah,
will be a matter of time. Usually you can find out 2, 3 days. Now, with the storm surge, did a lot of damage. It always does because that's basically the ocean coming into your house, basically, and then flowing back out. It's a huge wave, but it doesn't really stay. It goes back, but it obviously if you get water through your house or building or whatever, you have tons of damage. Um, and it can undermine foundations and it can actually collapse buildings, um, houses, depending obviously on what the house is. Florida has a lot of neighborhoods with houses up on blocks. Many of the old trailers like mine were on blocks. I just live on higher ground. It's not going to get inland this far, but yeah. And then, of course, rain that we just had a lot of rain, and then you have a lot of rain now, and it weakens the ground, and the big trees can just fall over. They don't have to be blown over, they can just fall over. And when you move to Florida, you got to look around your house, depending on where you live, especially out in the woods. And you got to decide what trees you need to get rid of. The ones leaning away from the house, if they break, they break. Don't park your car under them. You'll be fine.
yeah,
That kind of thing. But and then some do. The wind will break the tree in half. 12-inch round tree can be broken in half by winds. Most of the time, though, that's what puts our electric out. Is not the storm itself. It's trees falling on the lines, and the lines don't even break. But the tree brings the line all the way down almost to the ground, and the wires inside of the line break, so you lose that connection, and the power goes out. You
yeah.
know, so
We were
that's what
watching. I
happens with
forget.
wooden telephone poles.
We were watching Fox News last night, and I don't know, remember where he was, but one of the tornadoes came in, and all of a sudden the guy said, "We gotta go. There's a tornado." Hang on one more second. Yeah. All of a sudden the guy looked at the camera and he said, "We gotta go." And I guess his cameraman was already in the truck. So we'll
Yeah, I
see
would
that
be.
he
Them guys,
that
I
the
hate them
cameraman
guys.
was
Them guys are just as annoying as humanly possible. They're all
they are
standing out in a damn storm, and it's like oh, I'm brave. You're an idiot, is what you are, really. Okay, go back and get
yep,
in your truck and drive back to your station and shut the hell up. We
right.
get it. You can
Yeah,
leave cameras out in certain places to film. Don't need people out there, but they're doing
right,
it for ratings, is what they're
right.
doing. Okay,
They all
they
have
tell you it's to bring you the latest news. No, I don't know anybody down here, I swear to God, that does not root for the stop sign to behead one of these idiots just one time. Just once.
I think they get hazard pay for going out and doing it. At least if you come back alive. If you destroy the studio truck they send you out with, you probably lose your job and get sued for the cost of the truck.
I don't know.
But
Well, there was one I watched. I'll never forget. It was funny as hell. The guy was standing there, and a huge sign got blown off. Them signs in them strip malls. They're about 6, 8, 10 foot long, and they got the writing on them, and hit this guy full on. It was fun. I laughed my ass off when I watched that. And there was this other one where this little tiny lady was in a storm wearing this huge freaking windbreaker, and it looked like it was literally going to blow her away. And I was rooting for the wind. I was, because I got to tell you, just some people are dumb. They're standing in the middle of a city where anything can blow off, blow up, or literally fall on you, like a building. And this shit happened. It's like the people back in the studio. Oh, well, we hope for the best here. Yeah, well, you're the ones that sent them out, you idiot.
Right. And
Put out some cameras, put out some trail cams, okay? Tie them to a fucking tree, and you get all the freaking footage you'll ever need. And these other idiots that aren't working for the TV stations, they're out there surfing. I swear I want them to drown. I do. Drown. It's like,
the guy,
you know what?
the weather guy's on the beach.
Kind of dumb. We don't need this kind of dumb in this country. We really don't.
The weather guy's on the beach as the high waves are coming in. I'm always out watching, actually rooting for the wave just to see the wave come in and down. But I really don't want to see
like
anybody
these
get hurt.
But that run with the Bulls in Pamplona, Spain. I don't know anybody don't root for the Bulls. I swear, you go do that, you deserve to be hooked in the ass. That's what in the bad part, where your prostate will be bad the rest of your life, and you can't sit. That's what I root for. Morons.
Yeah.
In Hurricane Wilma, I was running an apartment complex. I was outside. I was picking up debris as we were going. I was exceedingly careful. Constantly, you gotta have your head on a swivel. I mean, I watched the pool house, the fiberglass roof things fly up over my head about 70 foot in the air. That was actually kind of cool. Because it didn't belong to me. I have to pay for it. But nevertheless, okay, once it got to the second part of the storm, you could tell immediately it was getting worse than it was the first half of the storm. After the guy passed over, and I was like, okay, time to go. And on my way back to my apartment, and I weighed 315 at the time. The wind knocked me down, and I was laughing at me. And when I tell you, I hit the ground, I was already laughing because it was like, I just know this looks comical, and it's like, whatever. The only time I would go out in a storm now is if it was an emergency, like, somebody was out there, or a dog or something that needed to be rescued, something. Okay. But I'm not, that's just dumb. That Jim Cantori guy, he needs his ass kicked, number one, then sent out into one and being taken out by like a stop sign or something. Just, be done. I can't, that guy is the sector of death. He enjoys all the death and destruction. I can't stand that.
I have not met anybody in the 3 years we have been here in Florida who likes that guy.
Yeah, no one does. No one does. Because everywhere he goes, people die, and then he gets on, and he fakes some of it too. He does. I mean, I was told that, well, I didn't know this, but at the time, Nick told me that he got caught one time standing in a ditch full of water, okay, and the wind was blowing, Probably a fan. I don't know. His windbreaker was, all over the place. And some people were just walking by. Their clothes weren't moving. Their hair wasn't moving. Nothing. And they get caught doing this TV crap. And then when it's over, they all act like they're so sad about what happened and the people who died and all the loss and all this other bullshit. And nobody likes that crap. Plus, he's an arrogant bastard. He really is.
Yeah. I was on the
I quit
post
watching him
yesterday.
15 years ago.
I was on a post yesterday that people were talking about the actual big time news anchors, and they're being out in the field doing live hurricane reports. And someone brought up Lester Holt, and I said, as far as I'm concerned, that picture of Lester looks like he was in a studio standing in front of a green screen with a guy with a fan behind him and a guy throwing buckets of water into the fan. he was not anywhere out in the whatever, but
Robin and Daniel, they seen tornadoes go by and stuff. I get that. I'd stand outside and watch a tornado go by from a distance. Okay, a tornado, I'm going to get in my truck, drive fast away. I ain't fucking around with tornadoes. Earthquakes, there ain't shit you can do about. You just hope for the best. Hurricanes, you actually got 10, 15 days to get ready. And realistically, you have like 9 months to get ready because the hurricane season is like 3-4 months. You can collect stuff over the time that it's not hurricane season from I think it's the end of September until, I don't know, August or July or some damn thing. I don't even know. I wait for the first one I hear about, and then I know it's hurricane season. All right. And that's, and the only last minute things you might need are gas, water. And what I do for water is at least to flush toilets, which is very important. Okay. I collect milk jugs, and I usually get 15 or 20 of them. And right before, a couple of days before the hurricane, I'll fill every one of them. I've got 5-gallon water jugs for not only cooking and drinking, but also flushing the toilet. There's 2 of them for flushing the toilet. Always pour the water into the toilet tank. You won't waste as much as pouring it into the bowl. Either way, the toilet will flush automatically without you even pulling the handle. Well, if you're in the bowl, it will. In the tank, then you won't waste as much. Also, the dog water and stuff. Plenty of water for at least 4 or 5 days, because normally that can be how long it takes. Now, the 5-gallon jugs are good, and the 1-gallon jugs are also good for, in most towns, if you go to a grocery store or someplace like that, will have a water machine, all right, that you fill up from. All right, so you got your water covered. The only thing else is gas. You need at least 3 to 5 days worth of gas for generators. Now, I have 2 generators. If you don't have no experience with generators, you need to learn about them. There's YouTube videos all over the place, okay? Because you can't overtax them or you're going to burn them up, right? And I have 2. I have a larger one that takes 1,000 watts, and I got a smaller one, 500. The 5500 I use, like last time we had when Helene, I did a show because I turned on the 5500 and plugged everything in. I also plugged it into a power strip that is a good one, not one of them cheap ass $5 ones. Okay. So that any power surges or whatever from the generator would not blow the computer or any of the electronics, because technically these portable generators, you really should not be running electronic stuff on. Very, very few of them are, and the machine to test them is exceedingly expensive for that. But if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it. Well, I like to flush the toilet as much as possible. And during an emergency like a hurricane, it'd be 4 or 5 times a day, and especially after the brown. You don't want that. But
No.
uh, listen, and we have two bathrooms. We only use one during the emergency, so you're not wasting twice as much water. Okay. My refrigerator, my freezer, they stay cold. All the stuff in the freezer stays rock solid, never gets, never get. And also, I change the oil in the generator. I make sure I have plenty of oil. I change the oil in the generator about every 8 to 10 hours. Okay. Um, it's not really necessary, but it cannot hurt to have fresh oil in something like that.
Yeah.
Also, I use pure gas, which is marine gas, which is actual like leaded gas kind of, because the corn gas will wreck a carburetor, and you don't want your carburetor getting gummed up so the damn thing don't start.
Nope.
You want to do your tune-up stuff. You want to do your let's make sure everything works on it stuff weeks in advance of hurricane season so that you know everything runs and runs properly. You want to clean your carburetors. You want to either that or replace them, or you want to make sure. Like my big one has a battery, electric start, and um, you got to make sure your battery's good. I screwed that up last time and decided not to buy a new battery, and that fucker's hard starting. So as far as pull cord, okay, so I actually have a battery sitting out in my trailer. I'm gonna put in tomorrow, and so if we get another one, there's one out in the Atlantic. I believe that's supposed to turn north before it gets anywhere near America, so we should be okay there. And that should be one of the last ones, I hope.
Me too.
Here's a weird
But
thing.
I also
I
heat.
don't remember the last time a hurricane developed in the Gulf of Mexico. That seems weird to me.
Yep. Also heed the governor's warning, and it should be common sense anyway. If you have a generator, do not operate it inside unless you're looking for
All
a
right,
good
listen,
dose of
yeah,
carbon monoxide. Please,
yeah.
please,
If you're
please
gonna put
don't.
it in your garage, if you're going to put it in
Yeah.
your garage because you don't want it stolen, first of all, the garage door must be open. That's number one.
Yep.
You can chain it to something inside the garage so somebody can't drag it off. However, it's still in your garage. You want to make sure that the muffler is pointing out, not in.
Yep.
I don't care where the cords go in, it's got to be pointing out. Number three, you're always best to buy a $20 or $25 box fan or something and have it blowing on the generator from the non muffler side. And that will push out 95% of the carbon monoxide. It's not going to get into your house and kill everybody. Down here,
Yep.
there is always a moron who will put that shit in his freaking living room or some stupid crap. Okay, because he only has two cords and they're 10 foot long, or something, and they will kill themselves. And then they'll go to sleep. I don't know how the hell you sleep with a generator running in your house, but they'll do it. I'm telling you. I've never seen people so freaking clueless in my freaking life.
So please don't do it.
Yeah,
Please
you're
don't.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a way to keep it out of the rain because you got to remember you're producing electricity and stuff is plugged in. You don't want that. Me, I don't have a garage, I have a carport, so I was keeping it in there. At this point, I have everything's on the trailer, and I'm getting ready to set up the last little bit of my emergency stuff for next year, which will be backflowing it into the house, and I'm going to keep them on the trailer as they go. And I'm not going to be on the trailer, so as it turns out, I will have not only the ramp down, but also the side door, and it'll be fine. and not as noisy too. And I will have
Yeah.
not only electricity in the house where I need it, I will have my water pump from well pump going, and the hot water heater when I need it, and I'll be able to take hot showers. The first year we had a hurricane here, I had barrels outside with a small SureFlow pump, on-demand pump, and a water hose running from that to the frickin' to the shower. And my wife took a shower like that. I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm doing that. I don't know, but now we'll have hot showers. So but
I can change
there's 9 months
the
out of the year, and there's if you live in Florida or any place in the Gulf Coast, I don't care what state it is, you have 9 months to get ready for this. Do not put it off, because if you put it off the week of, you're going to not have any water, nothing. Don't be buying tons of bottled water, the little bottles. Get you some 5-gallon jugs and go fishing in your town. Okay. And splurge. Buy the water machine that goes with the bottle, and you don't have to have it on all the time. We never have ours on. The only time we turn ours on is my wife wants a cup of tea immediately. 5 minutes, she has a cup of tea. Okay. Otherwise, it's just warm water, and I put it in the refrigerator. Okay. Simple. Anything that will hold water in your house, if you don't collect milk jugs or whatever, fill it with water, including your bathtub, both your sink, all your sinks. Okay. You will die of thirst before you die of hunger by a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. This is very true.
And that goes
This
for
is
any
very
disaster, by the way. That goes for any
Yep.
disaster, even tornadoes. If you have a storm shelter, you should have stuff down in there and a way, like if you have a generator down in there, you probably should have a way to get it up and out. that doesn't require you, I don't know, putting it on your back like a backpack and climbing up some stairs or a ladder. That kind of thing, because it's important to think things out. We are all very self-sufficient when we need to be. We're all innovative when we need to be. And there's no reason why. The reason I keep my stuff on this trailer is, one, I needed a use for this trailer other than storage, because I like this trailer. I've had it a long time. And two, I can move it away from all the trees and everything else. If I leave it in the barn, the tree falls on the barn, I'm spending hours on it and cutting trees before I can even get to it. And if it's a big enough tree and they're big enough over there, it could crush it. And then I don't have anything. So it's in the trailer. The trailer ain't getting knocked over. Okay. And I take it in the truck and I move. Now, this time I had to take my flatbed trailer. I pulled that in the carport and tied my carport to it. So that didn't bounce up and down like it did during Helene. That was kind of cool to watch.
Okay. All right. Well, we're live here on the Dave Glovin profile with the Bull YouTube channel. I want to say good evening to Michael Anthony, who is watching. Bill Reese is watching. Jane O'Malley is watching, and she wanted to be sure that you're okay, Gerry. So I'm sure she's happy to see that you're here with us tonight. Bill Reese is watching in Boone, North Carolina. Daniel
I know
Smith
where that
watching.
is.
Yeah. Daniel
That's
Smith
like
is watching.
45 minutes or an hour or something from Jacksonville. I've been to Boone, North Carolina. I had a girlfriend that lived in Boone, North Carolina. She dumped me and married an old guy. I don't know what that's about, but she didn't like me.
Let's see. David Fowler is watching.
I say
David,
old.
you're... Go ahead.
She was like 24, and this guy was like 50. And I'm like, wow, really? And she stole my fucking shirt.
Oh, God. Yeah. I don't know. You got to find yourself a respectable older lady. Go ahead.
I have a 55-gallon heavy-duty plastic barrels for water. Yeah, I have 2 of them. By next year, they're going to be my gas barrels. Or one of them. One of them's going to be for gas. Because these things are old, and I'll never get them clean enough for drinking water. But, yeah. I put a pump on that and just instead of having 15 freaking gas cans in my barn, I can just use them, fill it up, put the gas cans away. Just use some stable. And I have two riding lawnmowers and chainsaws and weed eaters and everything else, so I can get the gas when I need it.
Cool. But
Yeah.
I think I'm about done
There
with
is.
hurricane season. I don't know if it's done with us,
Uh,
but
uh,
I'm
it
you know,
well, probably. I think we're getting. I don't know. What was the weather today with you? I mean, I walked outside. It was like 60 degrees, and it was beautiful
yeah, I
all
was in the
day.
upper. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we went out
Well, I'm
early.
further.
It was in the
Oh, that's weird.
upper 60s. It wasn't too bad outside.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Yeah. The sun wasn't out, but it was nice. And then when the sun did come out, it still stayed nice. I think it got to like 80. And 80
oh,
here is not like 80 up north. 80 here is actually beautiful. Because we get 95 in the shade here in the summertime. So and humid. Today was humid, but there was still a nice breeze going. So from I guess from the remains of the storm. So nice. I enjoyed it because it was cool last night, which I thought would help us also. It was in the 60s last night, and hurricanes don't like cold. So I thought maybe that might help. I don't know if it did or not, but
oh, hang on just a second. I'm trying to. There we go. There we go. I should have just said good evening, Ichabod Palmer, instead of trying to type it in there. All of a sudden,
yeah.
my fingers just wouldn't just move right. But
Daniel here says non-ethanol gas. 55 gallons of non-ethanol gas. I would like to be able to put that in my truck. I hear you can, but I got one of them corn trucks, and the dealer and everything from the dealer says never do that or everyone will die. Kind of like Jim Cantori. Okay. But other people say not only is it okay, it may run rough for a little while, but then it'll be fine. They also say that you get better gas mileage. So I don't know.
maybe true. I just
It,
yeah, I think we're running ours on 80. I think it's 89 octane, whatever that is. Who knows whatever it is? It's whatever BJ's puts in their gas tanks. So
well, it's all that corn shit is bullshit.
yeah,
They're starting to finally, at the last couple years, make small engines with gas lines and especially gas lines, but carburetors that can deal with it on some stuff. But most of the carburetors and gas lines, they cannot deal with corn gas and they just rot. 105. Well, what do you know? That is hot. That is hot.
and they don't tell you until after you move down here. But if you have a car that was like driven up in the Northeast for 20 years, uh, and you didn't like put a undercarriage, uh,
Yeah,
you know, do the
especially where you
undercarriage
live.
treatment the way you should have done it before you move down here. That when you get down here, you're likely to find that there's so much rust that your gas lines pop one day, and they tell you it's probably a lot more than the current used car price of your car to to
Yeah.
to do it. You know,
It used
that
to
was what
be
was
in Florida. Now, when I was a kid, before all the undercoating and everything, they had undercoating, but it wasn't that good. As a matter of
yeah,
fact, it was not good at all. But cars would rust out in 6 months. Certain cars would rust out in 6 months sitting in your driveway or
yeah,
driving to work. And you live pretty close to the beach, I believe,
yeah.
or at
We're
least the
here in
ocean.
Jackson, 25 minutes from
Yeah.
Jacksonville
So,
Beach.
yeah. So I live 30 minutes from Fort Lauderdale Beach when I'm talking about, and Pintos, any car from the 60s, just rust. And it was before they put in all the condos and everything else, there was a beautiful breeze down here in Florida. But the breeze would carry the salt in the air
Yep.
from the evaporated ocean, and it would land on your car. And eventually, like my first car was a 68 Camaro, and I had a Bondo in back window. It was so rusted out. And one day I was driving to school and I went around 84 on the University Drive, and the back window fell right out of the damn thing. I couldn't figure out at first what happened. I heard a loud crash, and then I looked through, and the window was all fogged up. And I looked down, it was perfectly clear. And I couldn't put two and two together really fast. But the guy I was driving with, he said, "Holy shit, your back window just fell out." And I was like, "Oh, crap." So there you go.
Yeah.
I went with
Yeah.
a plastic back window. I bought some Viscine and put plastic. In fact, 6-8 months till my dad could find me a freaking window. I got paid $25 for it. Put it in there. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway,
Glass
fun
is
times.
expensive.
Yep. Now it's ridiculous. It's like it's glass, 1/8-inch glass. For like a break front or something inside your house is like $30 for a tiny piece. It's like ridiculous.
Yep.
In Florida, Dave, I don't know if you noticed, but I don't know about any place else, but in Florida, if you get your front windshield broke or cracked, they will replace it for free. The insurance companies, it's a law. They have no choice. You call up you call up one of these glass places that comes to your house, and they will deal with the insurance company and everything else, and they will bring the glass to you, put it in. I think you got to wait 12 hours before you can drive it or something. Maybe not anymore. I don't know. But then they will.
It's a door window, side window.
No. It's just the windshield. No, it's just the windshield. They won't replace this. If you break the side window, you're on your own, Dave.
Yeah. Wow.
You need a plastic bag, dude. A clear one. Otherwise, the cops will pull you over for having tint that's too dark.
Oh, God. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. Ichabod,
we
how are
dealt
you?
with Massachusetts for a very long time just because it was manufactured with tinted glass that violated the tint law.
Right.
And finally, we had to get the original certificate of origin from Ford, I think, because it was a town car, to prove that that's how it was manufactured.
Yeah, I think they grandfathered everybody in, and that's a bullshit law anyway. I'm so tired of hearing about officer safety. I really am. You chose the fucking job because you got to wear a badge and a gun and have a little bit of authority over there. That is the only all these cops that thought, well, I wanted to help people. No, you didn't. You wanted to tell people what to do and then make them. And you wanted to arrest people and you wanted to shoot people. That's why you fucking became a cop. So shut the fuck up. Okay?
Yeah.
Officer safety. I'll make you a deal. If I quit seeing cops wearing shorts, I'll think about officer safety. How about that? Because I got to tell you, cops wearing shorts, that's the most ridiculous thing I ever seen.
Hang on just a second.
Randy would like the link.
Randy, you have the link. Randy, you have the link. I sent it to you, and it's working. I know because it's the same link Gerry got, and Jerry's here. But I sent it to you again. More than welcome to.
Randy ain't paying attention again. That's how he is. I don't know about that guy, man. He's constantly with the dead people, and I think it's affecting him. I do.
Yeah.
But Ichabod agrees with that. It did not work. Well, that's because you didn't click it correctly, Randy. You must click it correctly. It's a secret. We can't tell you. We have to kill you. But if you figure it out, let us know.
Right. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Randy, other than it's the same link I sent to Gerry. Matter of fact, I sent it to you, and then I copied it from you and sent it to Gerry. So,
Oh, thanks, Dave. I'm number one or two.
I don't know. Well,
that's nice.
No.
Actually, Dave, I send you my link first. I don't know where I came in second, but that's fine. It's fine.
You do? Well,
Jen ain't going to be
I
here
will change
tonight.
that. From now on,
Yeah,
I will
don't
send
do
you
that,
the link
Dave.
24 hours before everybody else. Although I can't
Jen
do that because is who? No, Jen could not do it tonight. There was another girls' night of doing something with her daughter and her daughter's friend. The last time it was a girls' night, it was they were showing Jen their prom dresses, and I think doing some tailoring on them. And then tonight, I don't remember exactly what it was. If you give me a second,
Ichabod's talking about sending that truckloads of stuff to, I guess, North Carolina and that.
Yep.
FEMA came out, I think, again and said we don't have the funds for this hurricane that just hit Florida. Again, come out and said that. I believe that the American people would be better off, instead of donating to the Red Cross or any of them damn things, you find people on Facebook. Well, Ichabod is a straight shooter guy. You know, he ain't playing. He's not going to rob you. They're going to use the money that you may send for fuel for the trucks or whatever. Okay. But the thing is it will get there one damn way or another, because Ichabod is a man of, he's a tricky guy. And it don't, not that there's a high bar to tricking the government or anything, because they're not that bright, but you know, he'll get shit where it's going. And I think I personally, knowing him not that well, but long enough to get an idea about him, he'll get it where it's going. And you know, we used to raise money. We sent it to a girl one time who was one of the Facebook heroes of the world, I guess. I don't know. And she ended up robbing everybody.
Yep.
He ain't like that at all. So, I mean, I don't know if they got GoFundMe's or they're accepting like cash or anything. I don't know about any of that. He would have to tell you. He says send him a link. He'll come on.
Ichabod will come on. So give me a minute, Ichabod, and I'll send you Randy's link, and we'll see if you can. We'll see if you can get on. Actually, no, I won't send you Randy's link. I'll send you Gerry's link because I know that it worked. So I'll copy Gerry's link right now, and I'll send it to Ichabod.
Is there a link on here for me that I can send? No, is there?
Actually, you can. If you go to Messenger, you can always take it. You can copy it and send it to people, and then when they come up on my screen,
I can send Randy mine. No, that's true. Let me see if I can Randy mine. Hold on.
All right, Ichabod, there is yours.
Forward.
There's yours.
Hold
Ichabod,
on, Randy.
and,
RANDY.
But
Rhodes. RODS. Okay, there he is. Yep. All right, I just sent it, Randy. See if that works.
All right. Well, Ichabod, if you get it, I'll see that you both got it, because I see the green room, and I'll immediately bring you both on. So as soon as
somebody else said theirs didn't work too. I don't know who. Oh, Michael. Wait a minute. Was it Michael Anthony? Hold on. Right. I might be wrong.
No. Michael has said that he can't get links from me on Messenger, even though I have sent them to him, and then I emailed it to him. And the last time I emailed it to him, he said he didn't get it either. So I don't honestly know. But when you become unofficial co-host of the broadcast. You can send links to everybody, and they're more than welcome to join us. Or I'll spend more time and try to figure out. No, I don't know.
Let's see.
Okay.
We have 5 counties here that have really come together and pulled through. I'm so proud of my peeps in Montana. Here in Montana. I thought you lived in fucking Missouri.
Okay, hang on just a minute.
You moved to
Randy, I'm
Montana?
looking at your Facebook Messenger between you and I have the link posted on your Facebook Messenger twice. Once before the broadcast and once about 2 minutes ago. So if you don't see it, if you don't see it on Facebook Messenger, there's a problem with Messenger.
Yeah, I sent it to Randy too, and I'm seeing it. You forwarded a message, and it's Randy Rhodes. So, yeah.
So, so I don't know. The only thing I can say is that it has to be Facebook, because that's the only way I send it. The only other way I can do it is to send it by email, and in order to send you a link by email, you have to tell me ahead of time that you want to be on the broadcast, because it takes too much time to try to whip out an email in the middle of a broadcast to send people the link. So we'll figure out another way.
Oh,
I haven't figured out how on Restream.
Randy says make sure you have a valid link, is the says, and Michael Anthony says that's what mine says too. I don't understand.
Well, okay.
I just sent it to you, Randy, and it went to you. I don't know if you see it or not, but I just looked, and it says you did, just like Dave did.
And it's the same. Okay, I don't know. I'm looking at the link on the screen. Randy and Michael. I'm looking at the link that we're using right now, and it's the exact link that I sent you. So I don't know why neither one of you are seeing it and or getting it. Matter of fact, and I can't. I don't know, folks, but so then we won't be able to bring you on. We'll have to keep you in the live chat. That's the only way I can do it. This is why originally when I started doing the broadcast, I sent the link to everybody and then asked everybody to meet 15 minutes before we went live, because that way I knew that everybody had the link and it was working and everyone could get on. And nowadays it's just, send everybody the link, and the ones that come on are the ones that come on. And like I said, obviously it's working because you were able to use it, Gerry. Obviously, we'll wait and see if Ichabod is able to come on. Ichabod got it, and Ichabod received it. So we'll wait and see. Actually, I can hit this, and I just hit Ichabod's link, and it came right to the studio. Let me try something on Randy's. It came right to the studio. So there are situations that are Facebook controlled, that some people just can't get links from other people on Messenger. That is something that is very real, and unfortunately, that's the only option I have. So we're not going to.
Oh, you know what?
We're not going to.
I got a message from Randy, and it says all your message says is link no image, and I'm trying to push on the link I sent, and it's not letting me do it. So he's right about that.
Okay.
Not that we thought we were lying. Just saying.
No.
Send me the link and see if it works. Send David Fowler the link.
I'm going to see
if it works.
Hang on a second.
But anyway, what we were talking about is how does FEMA run out of money to save American lives and probably illegals too, if you want to be honest. And
Well, they said
because they give
they
all their
gave
fucking
$1
money away to the GMOs who are helping these idiots invade the country. Millions and millions of dollars, which I had no idea really that they were allowed to do that. I was assuming that FEMA was for emergency earthquake, tornado, hurricane, tidal wave if we get one. Okay, that kind of shit. But then again, any government money, if they send you $20 billion for a budget, you can bet that half of that money goes back into accounts that they spend overseas or at our border. So I don't know why that surprised me.
It is not, for some reason, Messenger is not letting me send it to anybody else. I don't know why. Yeah, Messenger is not letting me send it to anybody else, and that's a Facebook Messenger problem that I will have to figure out with.
Well, let me see.
Messenger.
Let me see.
Ichabod says that I sent it to Ichabod. Ichabod said that he tapped on it and it wouldn't go. I'm looking at the link that I sent to Ichabod, and it brings me right into the studio. So,
all right, hold on a second. Hold on. I'll see if I can do something here.
It could be maybe I'm restricted and I can't send the link out.
Hold on. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Copy link. And send that to the Ixter.
Yeah,
paste. I don't know. That link came out in letters. That's probably not good. Let me see.
Well, when you
actually, it did work.
Yeah.
Oh no, it didn't. Hold on. Nope, it did work. Okay, so Ichabod, try the one I just sent you. All right, and I'll see. Hold on, paste. I sent Randy one. It's one of those. It's the long link with all the letters and numbers in it, and no picture whatsoever. So I don't know.
All right.
Oh wait, Randy's went down. Okay, why is this happening?
Because it's Facebook, and they're trying to make sure that Boogie with the Bull and the American Rebellion don't get to do combined broadcasts. I don't know.
Yeah, Messenger doesn't like it. Oh, David. Yeah, let me see. Hold on a second. I can try David.
Which is all the more reason why we're going to probably end up on Wimkin, Rumble, and YouTube. And if you want to be in the live chat, go to
DAV ID. Wait a minute. How come I got dead guys on here and don't have him? How am I not friends with David? Oh, there he is. Robert E. Lee. Right. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about Robert E. Lee. That was great, too. I like that. All right. So let's see. Paste.
It's just a pain in the rear end, which is
all the more reason. All right. There we go. I just sent him one. So it's election season. Yeah, it's election season. You know what? This is why I hate Facebook. I don't get upset about it anymore, too. But this is a pain in the ass. There's no reason for it.
Right.
It's like when you you like something or you share something, they like button, they give you the share button, and then they tell you you're using it too much. And in your own stuff, in like your own pages that you own or whatever, rent or whatever it is you do, it's ridiculous. And I am.
We got Randy.
Hey! Oh, hey!
We got Randy. We got Ichabod.
That's a strong drink.
No volume.
The only thing I can figure is that maybe there is something on me. Maybe there is something on me keeping me from sharing links in Messenger.
Ichabod said he can't hear anything.
Well, my mic is going. My mic is on. Let me get back down here for a second.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I hear you,
Come,
Jerry.
go out and
Huh?
come. Can you hear? You probably can't. Can you hear me, Ichabod?
He says he sent me a private message that said no volume, so I don't.
Tell him to go out and come. Tell him to go out and come back in.
Think about try going out and coming back in again, and see if that.
Yeah, you gotta.
If that.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't honestly know. This is why. This is a part of the broadcast here. This stuff, these technical glitches that appear to be really Facebook intentional glitches, are ones that really bother me more than.
Keep one thing in mind, guys, is that even the big guys have problems with their.
But they have people, right? But they have people and they have systems.
Hey, it worked.
That's David. David's here.
Hey, how's it going?
Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
David, how you
All right,
doing?
Can you hear
David's
me?
here. David can hear us. Randy's here. Randy can hear. I'm here. Jerry's here.
We're all here
okay.
together.
We'll wait and see if Ichabod comes back in.
I had to open it outside of Messenger. I had to open it in Samsung browser or whatever for it to do anything.
Oh, okay. So maybe what I'll tell people to do is I'll send them the link, then I'll tell them to copy the link and put the link into their browser and send it that way.
Right. Yes, sir.
I know on my Chromebooks, sometimes that's what I have to do. I have to take a link and actually put it into the browser, open up Chrome and send it.
Yeah, I clicked on the link and it took me to it and had everything like to select for your. It was telling me to select my microphone and allow my video, and it didn't have anything for me to select that on that screen. But at the top, it had a little menu there, and it said "Open in another window."
Yeah, open
and
in
that's
Chrome.
what I did.
Yeah. Open in Chrome.
Well, open in Samsung, whatever.
Yeah, that's Chrome. Yeah. But well, we'll wait and see. But anyway, you're here, Randy's here, I'm here, and
We're all having a party.
Barry's here, and Randy's going to do our genealogy. And
Mhm.
in a moment, Ichabod said, "Yeah, I don't know what happened." Ichabod, look at the link.
There you go, Jerry. You probably like my hat.
Ichabod, if you can hear me, look at the link, copy the link, put it in your browser, and see if that works any differently.
Thank you, brother.
I don't know who to blame anymore, other than it's my fault because it's obviously not working the way it's supposed
Let's
to.
blame Trump. It seems to work for everybody else.
I'm not blaming Trump. I'm blaming Trump. I'm blaming Trump in the sense that, actually, I'm not blaming Trump because the election was stolen. So there really is no blame. I don't know the reason that Trump has said that he's not going to the Fox debate, and I haven't found anything to read up on it. So if one of you guys know, you can tell me, because isn't Fox Trump's network? All of the moderators that are likely to be the moderators of the debate are people that love Trump, aren't going to fact check Trump, and would welcome the opportunity to make Harris look like she can't give a speech. And I'm tired of hearing Democrats saying, "Oh, well, she does so good on these TV interviews." And I go,
she's horrible.
They ask her a question and she doesn't answer, or they ask her a question and she just doesn't give an answer. The number one question that if I ever got the opportunity to have Kamala Harris on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast is very simply, you've told us for almost 4 years now what you would do as vice president, and you didn't do it. Now you want to be president. Are you going to do it as president, or are you not going to do it as president? Because if the answer,
she already said she wouldn't have done anything different than Joe Biden. She said just the other day she did that. So it's all the other answers that she's going to give, which sometimes is different answers to the same question.
Right.
is going to be bullshit. She's going to do more than Joe Biden, but the same type of crap as Joe Biden.
Right.
So more
Yeah.
of what he did should probably break us, I would think.
Or worse. Yeah. Her father was supposedly a very well-respected professor at Stanford who taught Marxism. So,
And her grandfather was a very wealthy slave owner.
Her grandfather was a very, very wealthy slave owner.
But she comes from a middle class family.
Well, if you look at what her father made being a professor at Stanford and what her mother made being some kind of a doctor, because that's why they moved to Quebec when Kamala went into high school, because her mother became on the faculty, I believe, of a teaching hospital somewhere in Quebec. That if you look at what they probably made, yeah, it's probably upper middle class. But everybody in America seems to be in the middle class.
It was a joke. That's what she says.
I know.
But she has to be more than she has to be more than upper middle class now, because she's collecting $100,000 every quarter, whatever the hell she's getting paid, and she doesn't have any expenses. She's living in the one part of the White House, and she's got a limousine driver, and I'm sure she's not paying for any of her meals. That's probably all catered to her and so forth. So what real expenses does she have? So other than maybe she might decide to buy a very expensive home to live in when she's out of the White House, but all her money is going right into a damn bank.
That and what Soros funds she's getting.
Somebody else's bank.
Actually, her money is going into insider trading, and she's becoming richer by the second, and not going to jail. Is what her money's.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Yep.
She went to the Hillary School of Finance.
That or Paul Pelosi is her broker.
Come on, Evie.
He and Nancy are going to walk away without any insider trading hassle for selling the 2,000 shares of Visa, I think it was.
Yeah.
Just because Paul got word that the price was going to tank.
Come on.
I don't care what you say. That's insider trading. If you own shares and they tell you it's going to tank, then and you dump it.
There's my little yapper.
But will they nail her for it? Will they nail Paul for it? Will any of them go to jail? Probably not.
Probably not.
Definitely not. Definitely not, Dave.
Yeah.
Nobody goes.
No.
Ever.
I know. It's like I said to Randy.
Sounds like you're a Republican.
I said to Randy on Wednesday morning's broadcast that, do people expect Trump, through his attorney general, to prosecute the Biden administration on everything they did wrong, and hope that they actually convict and punish these people?
I'm trying to my flags out here.
Or should we just understand what happened and move on and hope that it doesn't happen again?
So supposedly her husband's
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead.
Supposedly her husband's worth $8 million. She herself sold her house in Washington for $1.85 million, and that they purchased a home in California in 2012 for $2.7 million.
That brick mansion is worth a lot of money. It looks
and of course, they have to go and this guy has to go and hit Trump in the conversation, saying that he's worth $5.9 billion, of which half of that is in properties like his hotels and shit. But even so, she's getting wealthy and we're getting poor.
Well, Pelosi's been in it for a long time. Evidently, her father was some kind of a politician. Paul's a real estate developer, kind of like, maybe not up in the same league as Trump, but that's supposedly Paul's business.
Yeah. He's waiting to buy the properties down south that is hit from the hurricanes.
We're hoping his insurance company replaces his Porsche, because he totaled that Porsche and he was drunk when he totaled it.
Yeah. I don't know. No matter what we do, is going to change the way the left is doing their shit, because right now they're in control of the judicial system and the FBI and all the other three-letter alphabets, and they're very well protected. Each one knows their own dirty secrets. So if one goes, they all go. So they protect each other. And that's just the way it is and the way it's going to be. So, what can I say?
Gerry?
Who's in this one?
I don't know. I think that not enough Republicans are in jail. I don't think that all the Democrats, the shit gone. And at the very least, the leadership of both parties and the White House right now, and White Houses of the past, not to leave out like Obama or George Bush for that matter, and some of the crap he pulled, I think they all belong prosecuted. Is it going to happen? No, it's not. No.
Yeah.
And
Cheney could shoot a guy in the face and get away with it.
Yeah, AOC's had many things that she should be in jail for, money-wise, campaign finance-wise, you name it. The lesser ones, you'd be surprised, Republican or Democrat, some of the people, well, not so much Democrat, but Republicans that would probably end up in jail. They were all insider trading. You show up, we're being worth a few $100,000, and you go home a multimillionaire. Sorry, you're either getting bribed by the people on lobbyists and everything, or you are insider trading, or you are both, and God knows what else. So General Flynn and them have a team. Yeah, but General Flynn is not going to be the Attorney General. How much evidence have has Trump found when he was in office, and we have seen throughout the last 10, 15, 20 years that have gone to the FBI, been investigated, okay, and then nothing happens. And like, look at Hillary. She got the reason Hillary ain't in jail. The FBI and the Department of Justice gave her immunity.
Yeah,
on all of it, because she knew if she lost, Trump would put her in jail. So did Obama. There you go.
Obama knew that Hillary Clinton would probably put him in jail. That famous "if I go down, you're all going down with me" speech.
Yeah.
Remember
when they had the video of Hillary and all of her cohorts out there smashing up Blackberries and iPads and all that stuff back in the day? You can't find that no more. But I still remember it. She got away with that. Oh, the meeting on the tarmac. Remember that?
Yeah, Bill Clinton should have gotten in trouble for that. There's absolutely no reason
why
he should have been allowed to get onto. He should not have been allowed to get onto Lynch's plane. Period.
Exactly.
Especially while the FBI is investigating her wife, and James Comey should probably be rotting in a Gitmo cell for yes, I'm going to prosecute her, even though the Attorney General said no, I'm going to do it anyway, and then coming back and saying, oh no, I'm not. No. And
to come out as the FBI
I don't know
director
if
and say
Christopher Ray is any different.
no reasonable prosecutor would prosecute this case tells me all I need to know. That means that every reasonable and unreasonable prosecutor would look at the unreasonable prosecutors prosecuting Trump, which shows what the hell he's being accused of up in New York, anyway. And the other shit it's all garbage. It's all garbage.
Georgia's probably going to end up getting thrown out because Fannie Willis will probably end up getting prosecuted for breaking the law, trying to prosecute Trump. But
yeah, and then this stuff going on here, like I get in this little pamphlet I get in Plymouth.
Did you see there's a new hurricane forming up?
Hadn't heard of that one.
Yeah, there's a new one. There's a new one starting up.
Yeah, but I think Gerry said that it looks like it's going to go north of, I guess north of, I don't know where, but north of the United States or somewhere.
Actually, he's
North
right.
of the United
Again, twice
States.
one night. I don't know what we're going to do with ourselves, but Randy was right twice tonight. Anyway, Leslie, which is already a hurricane, it's halfway between Africa and America, is supposed to head north eventually. Now there is one now. It is got a 40% chance of turning into a hurricane. Coast of Africa. And for so it's no way to really tell where it could go. However, and right now it's a tropical cyclone. So whatever. But it could. I guess it looks like it's heading in the same direction. So we'll see. That'll be a couple weeks before it gets here, 10 days, something like that. So. And we'll have to see, because it looks like Leslie, the one going north, and the reason it might be going north is because Milton may push it north, because that's where the jet stream is also, and it's a little high, so it would hit, if it kept on the same track, would probably hit Dave, and then Dave wouldn't have to worry about Facebook screwing with him anymore, because he would die.
There you go.
Sad.
There you go.
We'll have
depending on how the election plays out, honestly, if Harris gets elected president, and the fact that YouTube hasn't nailed me for doing anything wrong, and I've done so much in the last 2 years that YouTube hasn't nailed me for, I will probably embrace YouTube, Wimkin, Rumble. Yeah, see, we got one more person who's going to join us. I sent him the link, and it worked just fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Daniel Smith asked me to send him the link. Daniel, I don't know if you know everyone. Daniel, stop spinning. I'm getting seasick.
I know, right?
I'm trying to get a wider fucking picture.
All right.
I was too.
I've seen you on Boogie broadcasts. I don't know if you know Gerry from the American Rebellion, Randy Rhodes from All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy, and All Roads Lead to Discovering Your Ancestors, or something similar to that.
Very close.
And
Very close.
David Fowler, who is an alias of a very smart guy on the internet and knows Gerry. So welcome to the broadcast, and feel free to.
Yeah, sorry about that, David.
However you wish.
Appreciate it.
So
I'm out here in Oklahoma waiting for tornadoes out here.
Good for your reputation, but whatever.
Yeah, right. Hey, we gotta stick together, brother. What the hell?
We do.
Yeah, if we don't do it, nobody will.
Yeah.
All right.
So what's on your mind tonight, Daniel? What are your comments to where we've been going with this?
I listen to Ben Shapiro. I like what he has to say a lot, and There ain't nothing worse than Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is the dagger to the soul of this country. And I never used to vote straight party, never in my entire life. But I wouldn't vote for a Democrat if they paid me $1 million. I told them to take that $1 million, roll up so fucking tight and stick it in their ass.
Yeah.
But for me, as a truck driver, I see the how the economy affects everybody, because when the loads are not there to receive, that's telling me that the economy is not doing well. The economy is in dire needs, and I'm sure if Kamala makes it to be president, hope to God not, that I believe we'll see a very bad recession, worse than 08.
If the dock workers had gone out on strike, that would have had a serious impact, I assume, on your business as a trucker.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, that's for every day that the dock workers were at strike, literally put everything behind by a week. So for every day, a week of backlog. So, and then when the West Coast port carriers would not take the ships that they rerouted, they weren't going to offload those ships anyways. So it tells me that the unions, sometimes unions are good and sometimes they're bad. But all in all, there's a time to strike and there's a time not to strike. And the time to strike is not when a part of your country is in dire needs of supplies after a hurricane. I mean, they could have said, you know what? We're willing to work until this situation is taken care of. Then we're going to go back to striking to prove a point.
Yep.
But all in all, the automation stuff, I agree with it and I don't agree with it. The only part I agree with it is it makes it more efficient for to keep prices lower at stores and across the United States. But automation also takes away jobs.
Exactly.
So it's a double-edged sword. Are you willing to pay more at the store to not have automation, or to have automation and possibly pay less? But once you're fully automated, then you've already signed your way to the devil. You can't take it back. You can't go back.
I'm not a fan of automation.
Huh?
I'm not a fan of any of this automation. As a union
I'm not
electrician
either.
years ago, we worked at Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser in Williamsburg, Virginia. And I know then we were putting in automatic valves and all that so they can control through a PLC, programmable logic controller system from their desktop and all that. And it took a guy out of a job from being able to turn valves. He used to do it manually. I saw him go with robotic systems that automatically pick up the pallets and know which truck to load it on. And that got rid of people running forklifts. So this automation kills jobs.
Absolutely, it's a dagger. But when you're dealing with a high volume of stuff coming in, you have to have some automated. You can't have it all. But I do, like I say, I do think that the man or the woman or humans should be 90% in the workforce of making stuff happen and not having it all automated. You look at the car industry. I mean, welding all the doors and all the stuff on the body is all done by a machine. It's all computerized.
Yeah.
So it would take so long for a single man or person to make all those perfect welds to get a car. So your car would be worth, it costs you, 3-4 times more because it's going to take that much longer to do that per vehicle. But in that case,
well, somebody did it by hand back in the day and they didn't cost that much.
Yeah, well, that's called inflation.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Okay, go Go ahead, Randy. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
we're talking about prices. We're talking about layoffs. We're talking about strikes. We're talking about automation. Okay, now this is not to start a fight. Okay, this is just a knowledgeable question. So, one of the problems that workers in America experience is
Amen, James.
jobs going overseas because they're paying them cheaper wages. Okay, obviously there's a whole different type of economic, living there. Okay, but you have your unions who demand a certain wage, benefits, and so forth for their union members. Okay, so
Yep.
like with the these the recent dock workers, they wanted a 72% increase in their wages. Okay, you know, and again, this goes to, obviously there's going to be argument about the owners of the company, but when you have a worker who's asking for, let's say, $72 an hour, okay, and you have an owner saying, "Damn, I got 1,000 plus employees making $172 an hour. So now and they want better benefits. So I got to pay for that. So I got to try and figure out how I'm going to offset the cost of all the added expenses. So now I got to increase the price of my product to the end user, hoping that they will continue to buy my product. Or I have the ability to automate, bring in some machines that can do the same work, will save me the employees' hourly wages, save me the employees' benefits, put out the same product, and not have to raise the increase to the end user. Or I can, shut down and go overseas to China. So my question is, do you not think that the fact that American workers are demanding such a higher wage and buccal benefits is not just shoot themselves in the foot to try and keep their jobs?
Well, of course. I mean, you think about, if you look at Costco in general, most of the employees that say like to run the forklifts, to offload the trucks, working to move the merchandise around on the floor, they have a cap. So the most that they can ever earn while working at Costco would be $35 an hour, and that's capped for that kind of job.
Wait.
Hold on, I'm not done.
Did you say 35?
Yes, $35 cap, and that's over a period of time. But no, it's like if you look at almost any job that you look at, no one's worth $1 million for anything. You take sports, for instance. None of the fucking sports people deserve $1 million to play fucking football.
Yeah.
I mean, they get all the benefits for health and all that other stuff for memorabilia and signs and all that bullshit. They've turned it into a into a fucking monopoly organization, to where it's no longer just you're playing a fucking sport for everyone to enjoy. Now you're like, well, I ain't gonna play unless I'm making $10 million for the next 4 fucking years. You know what? There's plenty of people out there that want to play the game. They're physically able to play the game. They're willing to go play and make $100,000 a year to play the game and get all the benefits that they normally get with health and all that other horse crap. And the ideology of a dock worker that works at a dock to make the head guy, I heard he makes $200,000 a year. What for? Because he's been there so long, or he knows everything. What would he do? You're telling me that someone else can't do the same thing later on in that many more years? There should be a certain limit when it comes to certain things, especially when you're dealing with people that think they're all that. And I'm one person, I can tell you, I don't know everything. I don't care to know everything. But I know one thing: when I see bullshit,
Well,
Okay.
I can
Ichabod's
tell you
having
this.
problems with setting his microphone. If we can get that resolved, we'll have him back
I can
on.
tell
Good
you
evening,
this.
Chuck Cook.
Every damn bit of this is on the politicians. The
Yep.
politicians let the unions get away with murder for endorsements. Okay, the unions get away with murder, and I agree with Daniel. There's nobody worth that much money, but they also don't realize they're making all that money when a company hits a lull or needs to cut back for some whatever reason. They're going to be the first ones fired. Also, at Costco, $35 an hour don't seem like a million or anything, but if that store suddenly slows down for some reason, they're going to get rid of the guy making $35 an hour. It's just the way it is.
Pretty
The
much.
the politicians caused companies to go out of the country and have allowed it. The politicians have allowed cheaper product from China, every single thing you can think of. The politicians have given a damn about made in America anymore, and have since the 70s is when that really kicked in. The reason you could buy a car that was made by a human being, or a bunch of them rather, back in say the 60s and 70s for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, which was a lot of money back then, was because the
Yep.
politicians have devalued our dollar so damn much that we're now paying $100,000 for a pickup truck. Used to be able to
Yeah,
buy
it's bull crap.
17
I looked at trucks today.
semis for fucking $100,000 or something, but a pickup truck now is $100,000. It's ridiculous. You take truckers. Everything
Jerry,
affects
let me tell you this real quick.
the supply chain. Everything affects the supply chain. The price of fuel. The fact they got to put crap in the fuel to somehow make diesel burn cleaner or whatever the hell that is. Okay, ports shut down or get backed up like butt gigs, freaking bullshit in California a couple years ago. All right, everything affects everything, and without the truckers and the shipping and the trains that carry some stuff and everything, plane, whatever it is, if there's a screw up, okay, it screws us all. I remember back in the 70s, Dave will remember this. David will probably remember this. Randy remembers this. Reagan got up and fired all the air traffic controllers that went on strike because his words were this: "You are not going to shut this country down. You're not doing it." And Biden, we all knew he wasn't going to do jack, but he should have done the same thing because, quite frankly, wanting a 70 whatever it was percent raise. I've never worked for a company that gave you a 70% raise. I mean, you might
Never
get
heard of that.
$100 a week. Yeah, never ever once heard of that. That is utterly ridiculous. And they ended up with a 68, 69%, something like that raise. Somewhere in the 60s.
A raise like that should go to our military people.
Yeah, I mean, I get you make good money in this 30 freaking years. All right, and you know what you're talking about. But the people's like, what do these guys do? They're backbreakers. They run cranes. Yeah, it takes a certain amount of skill to run a crane. That kind of thing. Sorry, nobody deserves an over 70% raise. Nobody on this planet. And in Daniel's, Daniel's right. Sports. I don't like sports anymore, and it's quite simply because of the money. And they're ready to screw up college sports because they're giving them money now. And some of these kids are coming out of college as millionaires, and not all of them, but some of them. And it's ridiculous.
Well, the only way that sports shit ends is when everybody doesn't buy a fucking ticket. Everybody doesn't buy any memorabilia. They don't do shit. When you stop watching the TV, you stop watching the deals, and all the views start going down drastically, your tune will fucking change to how we think. So it takes the majority of everybody willing to go that extra mile and say, you know what? Fuck you all. If this is how you want it, we don't want no part of it. And you guys can all, go broke for all we give a shit. Because if it wasn't for us,
you know what?
the fans, you wouldn't be where you're at.
There's people out there paying $5,000-$6,000 a year for season tickets to these games. I guess they got money. I don't know. Last time I went to a game down in Joe Robbie Stadium, it cost $80 a ticket. All right. And that was to sit in the end zone that used to cost $5 in the Orange Bowl. All right. Back in the 70s. You know, then you're going to buy food. That's another $50 easy. They were selling beer for, I think it was $8-9 a bottle. All right. You know, stop it. Okay. Just stop it. There is no guy on the field. You know, first of all, I'm tired of hearing about concussions. I'm tired. You want to play football. That is part of the deal. You end up with your head being a bowl of spaghetti by the time you're 60. That's how it is.
Yeah.
All right. You don't deserve more money or any of that. And considering the attitude these guys have from college, where they, you know, their shit don't stink and they get to do whatever the hell they want, like beat up their girlfriends and drive 180 miles an hour, and the simplest crap in the world, like renewing a driver's license, escapes them with their 48 people they got in their entourage and every other damn thing. And they're all broke by the time they're 5 years out. A few of them ain't. Okay, and this is all the politicians, because they just let the NFL, they let get away with murder. They let all these big companies get away with murder. They let the damn
the government
unions get away with murder because they endorse them, the Democrats, every time. And when the Republicans are in, they're getting money from them, so they're not doing anything to them either. We have one president who says, you're not shutting this damn country down with that bullshit. Okay? And that was Reagan. Nobody has done it since. And the ports, they go on strike. The president should stand up, say, yeah, no, you're not. Or we'll fire every one of you and bring in new people. Because just as somebody said, there is always somebody willing to work for that amount of money. Whatever it may be.
And just think about it. If say Trump was president right now and they decided to do the port strikes, and you know what? We fire you all, and then if you really think about it, the technological stuff will go into full swing. AI will go in. All this technical advancement will take your place in a heartbeat. I mean, if you look at McDonald's, you look at the grocery stores, whatever, you do your self-checkout. Who needs a cashier now?
Right.
And, you know, it gets to the point of what you're worth and what it's worth to do that job is two different things. But in all aspects, you know, I don't want to be the person who had to ring up my own fucking groceries. I fucking work for a living. I don't need to do more work. I'll pay somebody to do the pushing the buttons on the damn cash register and bagging my shit, you know, and I'd be happy to do that.
Heavy.
You know, for me, this port strike is just redundant of all aspects. It's just, to me, it's just one. I guess it's one company that controls the East Coast and the Gulf of Mexico coast. Am I correct?
That I honestly don't know. I do know that China has stakes in 5 of the busiest ports.
What's another thing? Talk about China for a minute.
They shouldn't have it.
Fucking China owns 37% of the land in the United States alone.
Right. They should.
Owns it.
They should not.
It should not. No country, no foreign country should be able to own land in our country. You know what? If we owe you money, get in fucking line. But no foreign country can own land in the United States. I don't care if you're an ally or an enemy. That should be.
We got all these damn grow farms out here near us. Damn China owned.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Same way in Arizona. There's some parts of Arizona down by Harquahala, Arizona, where Bill Gates was building these super-sized AI factories. So
we have been sold
Gary, I
out to
wonder.
everyone with $2. We've been sold out by everybody with $2 frickin' to spend. And the politicians have gotten fat, and we're all getting poor, and we have been for years, long before I was born. I mean, back in the 1800s, you could live on a week on a fucking dollar, just
What?
eating alone.
Hold on.
Not anymore, but gotta go watch TV with the wife from Randy. Okay, well, Randy's been summoned. I don't know what.
Mama
He
called
just
him
said a
home.
private, I guess. But the point is that the politicians are the ones who set the pace for everything in this country, and they're not setting it for us. And you know, like you said, if it's one company holding, you know, all the West Coast and wherever else,
There's my little rat.
what happened to brings down the prices? What happened to that? All these conglomerates, TV,
There's my
satellite,
little rat.
cable companies, all these, they don't have any competition. So they set the prices, and the prices are higher than they should be. Whereas if we have competition, like with insurance companies, like we used to have, you know, health insurance and all, it didn't used to be what it is now. Now you're paying hundreds of dollars or even $1,000 a month, okay, for health paying on a family. Well, back in the day, it was not near that because there was competition. The politicians got together with the insurance companies and wrote Obamacare. Well, how did you think that was going to turn out? For the people or for the insurance companies?
Well, it
Well, one
turned
for
out the
us.
insurance company.
Yeah.
He subsidized the policies to the insurance companies. If an insurance policy was $1,500 before, and he put it up on the healthcare highway or whatever, the healthcare connector, whatever you want to call it, for $750, he was giving that insurance company a $750 subsidy for every policy they sold. Then all of a sudden he said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. And all the top-notch insurance companies said, well, screw it then, because we're going to sell that policy for $1,500 then. We're losing money selling it the way you want, and you're subsidizing it anyway. So that whole thing was a joke.
I got a good one for you, Jerry. We're talking about truck prices. All right. I went and looked today at new trucks, just curious, to see what they were running. And there was a red one, a maroon one. It was $96,000 some odd dollars for this truck. There's an identical truck right beside it. It's gray, same engine, same all the accessories and all that. 82,000. I'm like, are you telling me there's like an $18,000 difference because of the paint job?
Yep. And someone will pay that because they want that red one. They don't want that gray one.
In the end, people couldn't afford like a Camaro or something back in the 60s or a Mustang because they were $2,500. Okay. But then back then you could live family of four on $150, $200 a week. You could still, if you worked long enough, you could own a home, possibly a vehicle, and feed everybody every day, pay your taxes, all that crap for a couple hundred, $250 a week. Okay. Working for $5-6 an hour. Now they want to make minimum wage 15. And that's why when you go to McDonald's, you're talking to a clown head, or you go to Walmart. And I went up to the lady the other day and asked her where the hell my W-2 was, because I'm doing this. And she thought that was funny. I kind of made a joke out of it, and that's fine, but it's really not funny.
No. I don't do the self-checkout.
You had a grocery store with 10 lanes. All 10 lanes were open. The bank had a teller at every freaking window on Friday afternoon. Okay. And people got through and whatever and went fast. All of a sudden, I remember when it happened. It started with the banks. They'd stop hiring people to man all the windows. And next thing, then it was the grocery store. And then it was the like Kmart and places like that, and Zaire, which was all just like Kmart. And before you know it, you're waiting in line for 45 freaking minutes because there's like one cashier for 24 freaking lanes. And then these things start popping up. First place I ever saw them was Home Depot. And I'm looking at it like, I ain't doing that. Then you look, you got to wait 40 minutes in line for the one cashier they actually have working. And Jane said it, make all these places human. This country was built by people. It needs to continue to be built by people and not machines, and not just some guy in a lab developing a robot that can do it for you. They've been warning us about the robots since I was a little kid, and they're here, and they're getting more and more realistic and everything else, and it's time for it to stop. I mean, I don't mind things that make it easier. I get that. I mean, it's a lot easier to screw in a screw with a drill, cordless drill, than it was back in the day. It was a flathead with a flathead screwdriver, and the drill was a hand drill. I get that. That's fine. But you still need those people to operate those tools alone, to build your house, to build your buildings, to fix your shit and everything else. All right.
Yeah.
And including the car industry. And I agree, sometimes automation doesn't kill you, but back in the day they managed to do all this, and still they didn't overprice everything. The 2,500, the 2,000, it was overpriced to a point, but now we got highway robbery. $96,000 for a damn truck that if you touch it, it's got a dent in it. If your door window don't work, 17 other things in the truck don't work because they're all tied together. It's ridiculous.
And it's 17 different computers to fix too.
Yeah. I gotta go, Dave. I gotta go eat. Yep. But you have a great night, guys. Nice meeting you, Daniel. David, good to see you. Dave, thank you so much.
Gerry, always a pleasure.
Take care of yourself.
All right.
Have a great night.
Gerry Michaels, The American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on Facebook, on the American Rebellion blogger page, and the American Rebellion group. Over on Wimkin on the American Rebellion page. See all of us over there at one time or another. So you'll see me over there. You'll see Randy over there. You'll see Jen Woodruff over there.
You're from Florida. Both you're from Florida, and
we're in northern Florida. Jerry is in central Florida.
I'm in Oklahoma.
You're in Oklahoma, and you're where, Daniel?
I'm in Whitman, Arizona.
Whitman, Arizona. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I have one of my in my groups, the 10 groups that are actually mine that I have. An admin is in Yuma, Arizona, down by the border.
Yeah, I've been. Ain't nothing to brag about Yuma.
No.
But no, I mean I'm close to about 20 miles east of Wickenburg, Arizona. Okay. So between Surprise, Arizona and Wickenburg, Arizona, I'm right in the middle, kind of out in the rural area. And I love the rural area. I used to live in Oklahoma. I lived in the town of Waukeeta. Yep. And that was that's where they made the movie Twister.
Yep.
But it was, when they made the movie Twister, they gave the town that I lived in $1 million, and they also gave $1 million to the school in that town. So I mean, it was a lot of money to help our community. Mm-hmm. So, and it also was able to they repaved all the roads there in our little town of 348 people.
Wow. All right. So let's see. We got about 7 minutes before we wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up at 9 o'clock. And,
okay. I'm just sitting here at my computer so I can get it fired up, see if it works better.
All right. So, David, any final things you want to cover, say, in the last 6 minutes?
Oh, just that I've been dealing with my truck issues this week. My 91 F-250. Here's a short. I was trying to summarize it. Okay. Took it to a shop. Ford dealership about a month and a half ago. The one guy that was supposed to work on it went to more training or whatnot, and he come back to the shop that Saturday, and they said meandered around the shop a little bit and penny ante stuff. He quit. So then he told me he had another guy that was going to put a new engine in my truck. This guy was supposedly starting on it. Well, I get a call from the new manager that just hired on a week and a half ago. He's new over the top of the service. He's a service manager. And all of a sudden now they're not going to work on anything less than a 2010. And so I had to pay to go get my truck towed back home with the engine removed this time, though. So this has been my week. It's been a nightmare.
Yeah.
What I've learned with dealerships is I used to have a 2006 Ford Explorer that was the only year that the F-150 chassis, the body set on. And I had a malfunction where the little indicator that allowed the carburetor and all that to work when you stepped on the stepped on the fuel pedal. And Ford wanted $1,200 to replace 4 little parts, plastic parts, no less. And so I went to a well-endured company that works on any type of fucking vehicle. They were called B&A Auto. And I told them what the problem was. I gave them all the paperwork, and they charged me $430.
Okay, that's better.
They charged me $430, and it ran like it worked just perfectly. So sometimes going to dealerships is never the option, especially when you got an older vehicle. But your truck is that a diesel?
No, it's a 351 Windsor.
No, Windsor. Okay. So I
Better
would
on the
suggest
computer.
finding somebody that's well endowed as a mechanics that has their own shop and all that, that's been around for quite a while.
And see, that's the problem. I'm 55, and most of them good old guys are gone or too decrepit to do it.
But I got a nephew he just went to school to become a diesel mechanic, and he is the sharpest attack. He puts a lot of older men to shame. But just because there are no more old bucks around doesn't mean there ain't some younger buck that knows what to do.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Because they fell in love with the same thing that their dad did or their grandparents did, know, and it continues on with the chain of life.
Yeah. But,
I don't remember where Cleveland, Oklahoma is.
In Pawnee County, a little bit north, but mostly west of Tulsa, about 30 miles. It's the smallest county in Oklahoma.
In Tulsa? North of Tulsa?
Northwest of Tulsa.
Okay.
Pawnee, it's a little crooked looking county, but it's the smallest county in Oklahoma.
That's probably the reason why I lived in Grant County.
Okay. I've heard of that, I think. That's a pretty big county.
Yeah.
That's down south, I think.
Huh?
That's down south, I think.
No, that's right along the Kansas border.
Oh. Okay. Well, maybe I hadn't heard of it then.
Right off of Highway 11. Highway 11 runs east and west and all. But
okay.
I lived about 30 miles north of Enid, Oklahoma, and about 80 miles south of Wichita, Kansas.
Okay. Yeah, I know Enid. Yeah.
But
all right, gentlemen, I'm going to give you each about a minute to give some final thoughts, and then I'm going to tie the ribbon up on this one and hope it posts on Facebook.
I'm good, brother. I don't have any last words really. Just I know I'll use my computer from now on. It's a whole lot better.
Good. I'm glad you came on.
Sure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Any Tuesday, Thursday night you see us on, just let me know. We'll send you a link.
If I don't erase the links you sent me, I can just reuse it, right?
No. It's a different
link every time.
It's a different link every time. Yeah.
Okay. Then.
Are you in the cab of your truck, Daniel, or what is that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's wild.
That's a semi.
That's pretty wild. Okay. LED, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
This is home on wheels.
Heck yeah.
I keep it real clean and all that. I mean, I've learned one thing: when you have a clean dashboard and you're going through the weigh stations, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna let you on through. They ain't gonna mess with you because they know if that's how your dash looks, how the rest of your truck's gonna be.
Yep.
Right. Right.
To
Yeah,
me,
that's
if my truck ain't working good and all that, ain't making no money.
Cut that on. Cut this on. Let's see.
That's true.
My last
All
word
right,
of thought
gentlemen.
is.
Well, go ahead.
My last word of thought is
Okay.
that I hope the people in our country wise up and vote respectfully for the right person, not because of his you may or may not like the person, but what the real person is going to do, because of you already know what Trump's going to do, you already know what Harris is going to do, so it's not like it's a surprise. So I hope to God that as Americans we put our bitterness aside and vote the right person that's going to do all of us good, and that's
Right.
Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
Any words, David?
I appreciate it, Dave. No, that's everything, man. I appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you.
You're welcome anytime. All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna let me get up here. What am I gonna
Yeah, I'm
do?
gonna get into this tech stuff too and start doing my own streams, I guess.
You're more than welcome to do that. All right, Daniel, I'm gonna send you on your way. David, I'm gonna send you on your way. Tell everybody you've been watching Boogie with the Bull Thursday Night Live, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. I acknowledge we had problems with the links, but the views seem to be, that problem seems to have worked itself out. We'll have to try to figure out what the problem with Messenger is sending out the link. I should be able to send a link out to anybody and it should work, and we shouldn't have to rely on someone who I sent the link to send the same link to someone else. That bothers me. But we're on Facebook at least through the November election. If Donald Trump doesn't win, I imagine that Facebook will do some drastic changing under the Harris administration, and we'll either be here or we won't. If we're not here on Facebook, we'll still be on YouTube as long as YouTube allows us to be there. Like I said, it's been almost 2 years since the last time YouTube has nailed me for doing something wrong. And in that 2 years, I know we have done lots of things that YouTube would normally nail us for doing. So that is an option. And we always have another place in mind that we will go to. 155 people are watching. We'll go out one more time, come back in and see if that changes. 161 people are watching. Let's see. Tomorrow morning is Red Friday Morning Caffeine, normally with Bill Muckler and myself. Bill was not sure if he would lose power and be able to be with us. I still have a message hoping that he'll get back to me and let me know that he does have power. If he does not, he will not be with us on the broadcast tomorrow. Randy Rhodes will sit in place. And that goes off at 10 a.m. Eastern on my profile again, and over on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. You can watch it there. Both have live chats, so you can be part of the broadcast either places. If you watch us on Facebook from time to time, go over and watch it on the YouTube channel and be in the live chat. The YouTube live chat is not very active because most people watch us on Facebook. They don't watch us on YouTube yet. And let's see. Friday night, 7 p.m. Catch me, Randy Rhodes, Gerry, because it's show, The American Rebellion at 7 p.m. We'll all be there. Saturday night, The American Rebellion goes on at 7 p.m. I'm not usually there Saturday night, so don't look for me. And we'll just do the best that we are doing. I want to apologize to the admin of Save Our Farms by mistake in sending out the shares today. 48 of them. I tapped your group by mistake, but I did go and delete it so that it should not show in your group. If it does show in your group, please delete it. And I apologize again. And on that note, I heard the TV set come on. General Hospital is ready to be watched. So we're going to go watch General Hospital and listen to Delilah, who is on the floor. No, she's barking at the door. So I don't know. She's trying to be the door person. But maybe she'll eat dinner. Anyway, she's an excellent canine attack trained Chihuahua. So our favorite. But anyway, double V's for victory. This Boogie Winnable broadcast has come to an end. And one more time, double V's for victory. This Boogie Winnable broadcast did come to an end thanks to the folks at StreamYard. Not StreamYard. Yeah, thanks to the folks and people for StreamYard that we're now on Restream. And thanks to the people at Restream for working with us as we try to get settled in here. You get everything on Restream for $19 a month that you got on StreamYard for $25 a month, and now on StreamYard you're paying $45 a month. So think about that.